Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Richard. Today's Friday, the 8th of November, and I wanted to release a quick video based on an article that I read this morning on Cointelegraph. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be focused on mining as a whole and where I see the international shift and the potential of how could propel Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to whole new levels. And so I'm going to explore that today. So firstly, I wanted to draw everybody's attention to this article on Cointelegraph. I'll put the link in the description. Basically gives an outline on mining and where it is at the moment and how there are some major organizations, BTC.com and Antpool, taking over 20, I think, what was it, 29% combined, owned by one company, of course, Bitmain. And I think that seeing how big the industry is, looking closer, and how the evolution of sentiment has changed from governments and countries like China, Venezuela, possibly other countries that I haven't seen yet. But I wanted to discuss this further. So my point is, firstly, check this article out. Goes into detail on how it's almost impossible for retail or individuals to compete now within mining, especially in Bitcoin, and especially with the halving coming next year. The difficulty, the reward rates you're going to get, and the price currently of Bitcoin. And the reason I wanted to get into this in a bit more detail is because it's really fascinating for me, anyway, on how the evolution in 2016-17 to now has occurred. That Bitcoin's, it's that thing that's exploding, great, great, great. But now we're getting major companies looking at ways at which they can mine, spending hundreds of millions of money on mining equipment, setups, energy costs, etc. And I wanted to explore this world for people that maybe not aware of it, as I wasn't earlier. And so what I wanted to start by saying is mining Bitcoin has been extremely profitable. Is profitable when the difficulty was low to actually mine and the rewards were great. Where the cost of Bitcoin is really, really high, and your energy costs to produce these rigs is low. So everything needs to have a balance to make it profitable. Yes, of course, you could run on negative profits for some months while Bitcoin's price is down or wherever it is, and you can recover on other months. But generally, you want to be consistently in profit each month when using a miner at home. And the problem we're going to get is we're going to be or the home based or basement, shall we call, basement miners are really going to struggle, it looks like. And I'll say why. And I think another issue as well that I'm going to bring up is how Bitcoin gets this, or mining, should we say, cryptocurrencies, gets this really bad reputation that it's wasting energy, it's not green, it's not, what can we say? How can I say it? It's not helping the environment, and it gets all this negative press. I'm going to try and dispel that today in today's video. So, first things first, I want to discuss how I'm seeing a shift. The shift is this. There are major energy companies out there which produce masses and masses of energy globally. But what they also have is a surplus energy. They produce, say, coal mines, they produce surplus energy. Okay, so electricity that's going to waste, that's not doing anything. They can't store it because the battery technology isn't as good as it, I suppose, could be, or isn't able to store all the energy that's produced. Electricity, should I say, energy, and it just goes to waste. So, firstly, that in itself is although we've got a global need for energy, we're actually producing too much. And so, what can you do with that energy? Currently, it's going to waste. Well, we see some of the major major energy companies, Eon, for example, saw this report from Eon, or this post from Eon, saying that they're going to be using um, they're going to be basically be using their surplus energy either from sustainable power sources or otherwise to mine cryptocurrencies. That's Eon, huge business. We've also got companies like using who are in the natural gas in Canada. There's a massive surplus when they're mining natural gas, and what they've started to do is actually mine cryptocurrencies as well, using that surplus energy. Now, as a businessman, that is extremely valuable because you can have your surplus that you're never making profit on generating consistent revenue for you as an organization. And this is why I worry for the basement crew, shall we say, or the home miners, is that there's going to be a shift over the next 5 to 10 years of products hitting the market like this, a portable mining container that miningstore.com actually currently ship, manage, build, and distribute to large corporations like this one potentially in Canada. I'm not sure if they're connected. I've just put in dots together um, to actually deliver an on-site mining rig whilst they're mining their natural gas. Incredible. So we can see that there is definite development in this space. And why wouldn't there be? We've also, on the next stage for me, and how I can see this moving forward is, which is going to be the race, which, you know, I wouldn't say the next space race, but it's an international race to see which country adopts this first. Because one that does, it's going to be leaps and bounds ahead of the rest. And China look to be the one they're already leading in terms of the retail um, space. I think they mine. I can't remember the figure, and I wouldn't like to estimate, but I know it's very high of the entire industry mining. They produce, I think it's like 60%, if I'm not mistaken, or more. And so when a country with all its resources and all its money to be able to buy hardware, buy well, they've got space to actually mine, and imploring maybe national energy sites run by the government, maybe nuclear power plants, maybe anything. They've all got surplus energy. And if you're linking these to Bitcoin mining farms, my God, you're going to get a situation which is going to explode for everybody. Price of Bitcoin will go up, network security will go up, everybody's going to be happy. And I just thought this was a really concerning, not concerning, real bit of news that doesn't really get talked about that much. And one thing I'd also like to mention is countries like Venezuela, Argentina, countries with real problems with not able to actually distribute their natural resources globally because of trade sanctions, problems like that. Well, what they can do is actually mine the natural resources themselves, convert it into Bitcoin, use the energy that they produce, focus on getting into cryptocurrencies and selling it on the global scale. Now, that in itself, if they pick up that as an people are obviously thinking about it. I think it's being done at a low scale, but if that takes off, everybody's going to be a winner that's in the space at the moment because there's going to be more interest in the space. There's going to be more, securability on the networks. There's going to be more miners out there. It's going to pump the price of Bitcoin up for all the speculators. It's all going to be good. But anyway, I just thought I'd leave this week on a really positive tone. If you haven't already, we just released a new article on the top 10 Bitcoin billionaires. Very interesting read. If you want to find out who's made an absolute boatload of money from the crypto space, jump in there, have a look, sign up to Crypto Now Weekly. It's free. Have a great weekend, everybody.